Well, a new report is really rocking the world of women's professional soccer, and the conclusions are also sinking in for many families whose children play all kinds of sports. The independent investigation found a pattern of rampant abuse and sexual misconduct. It also found that officials often failed to protect players. The report alleges the toxic environment is systemic, spanning many teams, coaches, and victims. And it says the abuse is rooted in a deeper culture starting in youth leagues, normalizing verbally abusive coaches. So we wondered how parents can prepare their kids to know the difference between some tough coaching and also the difference between that and abuse as we send our kids out to play. Paula Tutman is live with some answers to this very important conversation. Paula.
You know, I think you can argue that sometimes there are obvious signs of abuse in athletics, and I'm not sure you can argue that there are also times those obvious signs are ignored. But there are also some signs that are a lot more subtle, and those don't have to be ignored.
Drive through the heel, up.
What is the tipping point for sports? It's a question increasingly being asked and scrutinized. The long culture of sports for men and women, from children to adult, is steeped in our culture, according to Tanya Panizzo, a personal safety instructor who also works to educate the public on the signals and signs of behavior unbecoming of a coach.
It comes from this culture where the institutions care more about that particular institution than they do about the constituents that make up the institution. Okay, last set, you've got this, and go for 10.
Okay, so let's focus on children in sports. Tanya says often behavior that crosses the line happens in plain sight.
The interesting thing is that I think what parents don't often understand is that a lot of these things are happening right in front of them. So when people don't speak out, it becomes normalized. It becomes part of that sport culture that you just have to kind of suck it up.
She says the need and desire to play, win, belong, and a host of other human desires when it comes to sports must stop outweighing the human toll when a coach crosses the line.
Keep it right, keep it right.
At the end of the day and the game, 3 guideposts. Don't think for a moment it can't happen in your club. That's number 1. Also, understand the tipping points. So number 2. If an athlete feels demoralized and badly about themselves, as opposed to their particular performance, that may be a signal that a coach is crossing the line. And number 3, if a player is afraid to return to the game because of their own sense of emotional or physical safety, it is time to ask questions.
Every practice is going to be tough at times. Every practice is going to be great at times. But that practice that's tough may not make you feel demoralized and afraid to come back to the next practice. So there's a difference there.
So Tanya counsels that one of the fixes, and there are many fixes, but one of the fixes is education. In other words, parents as well as athletes need to be educated on what constitutes abuse or unacceptable behavior, but also those reporting mechanisms, those things you need to do to report suspected abuse in your particular club, and then don't be afraid to do it. Karen?
So important to have those conversations too with your kids in terms of expectations and how they should be treated as well by the coach. We appreciate it. Thank you, Paula.